On April 1, 2006, 27-year-old medical student Brian Shaffer arrived at the South Campus Gateway Complex to mark the beginning of spring break. Security cameras at the Ugly Tuna Saloona recorded him entering the second-floor bar with two friends. It was a typical Friday night start for a student nearing his final exams. When the bar closed at 2 a.m., police began a frame-by-frame review of the tapes. They successfully identified every single patron recorded going up that escalator coming back down, with one exception. Brian Shaffer was never seen leaving. In a commercial space where every public entrance was under 24-hour watch, Brian had simply vanished from the data. This absence of footage challenges the common assumption that our movements through a monitored city are always documented. The cameras showed him entering, but for the record of that night, his exit doesn't exist. The window for his disappearance is remarkably tight. Brian was last seen at 1:55 a.m., standing just outside the bar doors. He stepped out of frame, apparently to re-enter the bar, and 5 minutes later, the establishment closed for the night. This floor plan reveals 3 exit routes. First, the main escalator. Police are certain he never used this path. Second, emergency doors. Logs prove their alarms weren't triggered. That leaves a rear service door, allowing access to the interior without passing the main security cameras. The appearance of a man vanishing into thin air relies on the physical accessibility of this single service exit. This hardware was supposed to monitor the entire complex, including the rear corridors. But a 6'2" man was able to navigate the interior without leaving a digital trace. The failure lies in a setting called pan and scan. These cameras rotate automatically, which means they inherently create moving blind spots. If a person moves when the lens is turned away, they effectively don't exist. Then there is the human vulnerability. Security guards monitoring dozens of feeds at once can easily miss a single person in a staff corridor, or they might be focused on a different part of the building entirely. Beyond that service door lay an active, uncompleted construction site. It was a chaotic environment that offered its own unmonitored exit directly to the street. Trusting in the omniscience of surveillance ignores the mechanical limitations of a moving lens and the simple reality of human error. With the structural exit path identified, the focus of the investigation moved to the scent trail left outside. Police dogs tracked Brian's scent from the construction exit to a nearby Wendy's parking lot. Then the trail stopped. An abruptly ending trail suggests the person entered a vehicle. This discovery shifted the focus away from the building and toward the possibility of a robbery or foul play on the streets of Columbus. The behavior of those closest to Brian added a layer of suspicion. His friend, Clint Florence, immediately refused a polygraph, while his lawyer suggested that Brian staged his own disappearance to escape the pressures of medical school. Between the trail ending in a parking lot and the silence of his companions, the physical puzzle of the bar became a search for hidden human motives. It is now 2026, marking 20 years since Brian Shaffer walked into that bar. A $25,000 reward and thousands of hours of digital investigation have turned up nothing. In September 2006, there was a single moment of hope when Brian's phone pinged a cell tower 14 miles away. When his girlfriend called, it rang 3 times before cutting out, an event later dismissed as a telecommunications glitch. Brian's bank accounts remain untouched. His car was never moved from its parking spot. Despite 2 decades of national attention, the amount of physical evidence found remains at 0. The Shaffer case is a modern technological ghost story. It proves that even in a world saturated with cameras, a person can still step into a momentary blind spot and never come back.